You're listening to After Hours FM.
Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen,
This
and gentle them.
this might be our most terrifying episode so far. This is literally rivaling our Halloween special about Jeffrey Dahmer. Um yeah, it's not an easy episode to sit through, so just going to give some trigger warnings right now. You've read the title so you know this is about Sigmund Freud, but yeah, some trigger warnings include sexualization of children, downplaying sexual abuse, yeah, incest, I guess,
Mhm.
normalization of incest. I think those are the main trigger warnings,
But it's going to be interesting, though, because he's more relevant in this day and age than you might think.
unfortunately. So yeah, let me introduce him first of all. Um, so yeah, Sigmund Freud, born in 1859 and died in 1938, right when the Second World War started. Crazy.
Mm.
He was an Austrian neurologist and the finder of psychoanalysis. So that means that before he invented psychoanalysis, people didn't go to therapy and just talk to a therapist. No, they underwent physical therapy or moral therapy, never just talking about their problems, just being physically doing something, which is obviously not the best way to go about it. So he had a huge impact on psychology because psychoanalysis is a huge part of therapy nowadays. Um, but even his theories that have been proven wrong still have a big impact on psychology and how people think about psychology today, which obviously is just indicating a bigger flaw in the educational system, but okay. But we don't believe everything he said anymore. For example, he used to be a big fan of cocaine.
Really?
Yeah, he was an avid cocaine user, but he also believed that cocaine would cure mental illnesses and could help with that, which people don't really believe anymore. But yeah, he's mostly known in the media or otherwise because of his Oedipus. How do you say that in English?
I think just like that.
Oedipus? Oedipus complex, basically the phenomenon where boys are attracted to their mothers. And he's also known for the Madonna whore complex, so the phenomenon where men either view you as someone respectable or someone desirable. Yeah, we will be getting into this later.
What does Madonna mean?
It's a woman who you respect but who isn't sexual.
But what about Madonna?
That's just her name. So, to understand Sigmund Freud and his insane ass theories, we need to understand how he viewed the human brain. So, according to him, a lot of stuff was happening unconsciously in your brain. So, your unconscious mind consisted of three parts, according to him: the id, the ego, and the
Oh, I
superego.
know about this.
Okay, so the id is basically your instincts and desires, such as hunger. Your superego is your morals and your morality, and your ego balances the two. So, to give an example of this, your id might be very attracted to a guy and want to be in a relationship with him. Your superego might say, no, that wouldn't be good for you because he doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, so you should just let him go. Your ego would try to find a balance and would say to you, okay, you know what? You can enjoy him for what he is. You can do stuff with him, but you should not expect an actual relationship. I hope that's a good example.
I think it is.
And then how he viewed the mind is unfortunately very fundamental as to how he viewed sexuality. Because according to Freud, your sexuality starts developing from the ripe age of 0 years old. I wish I was making this up. So basically, what I said earlier about your id just being your instincts, he calls those instincts libido, so your sexual drive and energy.
Ew.
Yeah, and he says that this starts in childhood from the age of being born until you're 5 years old, and then there's a pause from 5 years old to puberty. And then after puberty, it starts again. It kind of reawakens. But okay, when you're zero, it starts with the oral stage, which is when you're breastfeeding. And he says that your libido is not just your genitals, but also other things like touching, sucking, pooping, peeing, smelling, rocking, hurting, and being hurt. So basically, every sensory interaction you have as a child. And before the age of 5, this energy that is translated into these sensations, you just have this energy without being socialized or developed into actually having sexual urges. So you just feel the need to suck on something as a baby, but it's not socialized in a way that you would have as an adult, if that makes sense. It's gonna make sense like later. So basically, yeah, it starts when you're until the age of 1 with the oral stage where you're breastfeeding, and in this stage only your id is active, so only your instincts, and the child looks for instant gratification. It's hungry, it wants milk, like it's not gonna want to wait for milk, it's gonna cry if it doesn't have it. He doesn't know anything about patience or waiting for what you want to have, it just wants it immediately. Then your second stage is the anal stage from 18 months until 3 years old. This is where your erogenous zone shifts from your mouth to your asshole. And basically, this is the period of time where you learn to get potty trained. I'm sorry, this is no laughing matter. I just think it's so. This is the period where you get potty trained, and your ego starts developing, and the child learns delayed gratification. So instead of pooping right now, it waits. Yeah, it waits so that it can poop later. Like it keeps it in until it can poop into the potty, so that then
How
you
did
can
he
get a
come up
reward.
with
Girl,
this?
don't ask me. He did
Because he was on
he did
cocaine.
no, but cocaine makes you just more active. It makes your brain more
Well, I bet he
active.
was on more things than just cocaine.
Maybe, but he did a ton of research.
How? How did he ask these babies? How do you feel right now?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know about that. But he was
Do you feel like you are practicing the id? Do you feel like you're practicing the ego?
No, okay. So
This
yeah, so
guy,
that
this
was the
guy.
anal stage, and then this is where it gets crazy. And then you enter the phallic stage. You know what phallic means, right?
No.
Penis. Phallus means penis in Latin.
Oh, I'm supposed to know that.
Yeah, you are.
Well, they didn't teach us that in Latin.
They literally taught me that in Latin.
Well, not me.
Well, anyways, that's your phallic stage. So your erogenous zone moves from your ass to your penis as a boy. And as a girl, we're going to get into that later. From the ripe age of 3 to 6 years old, this is where the Oedipus Complex begins. So, genitalia are the primary erogenous zone. Children become aware of their own bodies and other people's bodies and start noticing the difference between women and men, like the female and the male body, and learn their associated rules. Because obviously, as a child, you're going to be like, why do I have this and you have this? And what the fuck does that mean? So, parents start teaching that. Now, this is where he actually says stuff that is very disturbing. So, click away if you are sensitive to children's
I
sexuality
wish I
and
could click
incest.
away.
You can't.
Please.
Ripe age of 3 to 6, okay?
Just know that I also don't know what's coming.
Boys start feeling sexually attracted to their mother and are jealous and scared of their father because he stands in the way. But he's also much stronger than them. So they know they couldn't compete with their father. They know their father would win. So instead of acting on this attraction, the boy respects his father. Like he's too scared. So since the boy has noticed that women have no penises, he is scared that his father will remove his penis too.
I think he's just projecting. I don't think this is a relatable train of thought.
Let us know in the comments if you relate to this.
Were you ever scared that your dad
I was gonna chop off your day.
your
Okay,
date-
so this is the fear of castration that guys have to just basically become emasculated by their dad's masculinity, since their dad's
Is
masculinity
this
is so much bigger.
metaphorical?
No, like kind of. But
That would make more sense if
yeah.
it was.
So, but yeah, he's scared that his father would castrate him, metaphorically or not, so that he cannot compete for his mother anymore. This anxiety for castration is bigger than his desire for his mother, so he represses those desires. His desire still manifests, though, by him becoming as much like his dad as possible because he secretly still wants his mom.
Right.
If you're a girl, don't worry. Freud did not leave you out. He has also some
Girl,
theories for
you wish he left you out. Let me
fucking
tell you
wish.
something.
So a big misconception is that Freud has invented the Electra complex, which is the opposite of the Oedipus complex, but for girls. That's not Freud. That is Carl Jung, aka his
Really?
student. Yeah,
Isn't Carl Jung from the fucking hero? I think I know him from somewhere.
I know him from BTS, of all places. Of all things, I know
the
him from
fuck?
BTS because they have 2 albums based on his philosophies.
What?
But-
The Electra Complex.
No, like his philosophy in general. Okay, well, anyways, so for girls, he has the feminine Oedipus attitude or the negative Oedipus complex. So the girl notices her mother, and other females lack the penis that her father does have. She becomes attracted to it, but also is envious of it. And this is called penis envy.
Have you ever experienced?
Never in my life have I experienced penis envy. That's just my personal experience. And I don't even remember the moment where I noticed the difference between male and female bodies. In my mind, I've just always known the difference. But I know there was probably a moment where I noticed. I just don't remember it.
I don't either.
But I've never wanted a penis. You?
No, God no.
Great. Okay.
Comment down below if
If you've ever
had
experienced penis envy, and also comment your gender, because I want to know. Like, obviously, I get that if you're a trans man, you might have experienced
Oh,
penis
right.
envy. Not all trans men, though. Not all trans men want penises. But okay. Anyways, so she has penis envy, according to Freud. She blames her mother for her castration, aka for not having her penis, and then she kind of becomes bitter towards her mother, and she comes to terms with the fact that she is the inferior sex because she doesn't have a penis, and she starts identifying with her mother as much as possible because she desires her father.
Okay.
Is this making sense?
I mean, none of it is making sense.
Yeah, but,
'cause he's
like,
fucking weirdo.
Do you
but
understand his train of thought? Like, not understand as in accept
I don't
it.
understand why you first hate your
Obviously.
mother, and then
You hate her because you want a penis, and you blame her for the fact that
But
you
then
don't
why
have
do
one.
why do we start like identifying with her?
Because, like,
And why do we want our dad? Because he just has something we want.
yeah, he has something you want, but then you're like, okay, so I don't have this. I have a vagina instead, but I still love the idea of a penis, so I am attracted to penises.
You need to say the thing about Freud, about his daughter.
Freud says that if a girl is a lesbian, it meant she had an incompetent father who was unable to turn her penis envy into acceptance that she is inferior, like the inferior sex, and that she's just attracted to penises, because her father was not desirable enough. So if you're a lesbian, you had an undesirable dad. But fun fact, Freud's daughter was, in fact, a lesbian.
Icon. Do we know her name?
We don't. Let me look it up.
Oh, yeah, 2.
Okay, he had 3.
Oh, 3.
Anna, Sophie, and Mathilde. I don't know which one was a lesbian, but
I think Anna. It's not Sophie, and it's not Mathilde. So,
it must be Anna.
yeah, because the other 2 are married to men. He's supportive to Anna.
Period, Anna. And I'm sorry about your dad.
Yeah, yikes.
Um,
Do you think there's people in the world who still carry the name Freud, like as their last name?
I fear. I also know that there's one guy on TikTok and his name is Jeff Epstein.
Oh fuck no.
Poor guy.
Oh my god, subtle foreshadowing.
Subtle foreshadowing for another episode of ours that is going to be even more disturbing than this one. But very important to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we know how Trump
Whoa.
this, my ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a Freudian slip. And I'm not joking about that. So when Freud says that when you slip up your words, it actually means that you secretly desire the thing that you have slipped up. So I desire to hate on Trump instead of Freud, apparently, according to him.
Perfect example. Wow, it's almost like that was scripted. It wasn't.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. Okay, but now that we know how Freud feels about children and libido and sexual energy, so this is what happens until the age of 5, 6. And then it stops. You basically have a pause until puberty, and then when puberty starts, all of those sexual energies and sexual things you've experienced morph into something socially acceptable because you've slowly, as a child, become socialized to treat your libido a certain way and to encourage it to do things that are socially acceptable, if that makes sense. Like, you're no longer gonna want to, I don't know, express it through urinating. You're gonna want to express it through other things that are more socially acceptable.
Right.
Okay, now we move on to the adult manifestations of this phenomenon. Okay, so since your sex drive begins in childhood, according to Freud, trigger warning for this, for childhood sexual abuse. So whenever Freud's female patients came to him and they expressed to him that they had memories of childhood sexual abuse, he says that these memories were fake. He called them screen memories, and he said that those women created these fantasies later in life to mask their actual desire or fantasy for the attraction of an adult. So he says, you were not abused as a child. That's just a sexual fantasy for you.
Ew.
That is so fucking disturbing. I don't even know what to say. Because mind you, if you're struggling with these memories and if you're struggling with something this traumatic and you go to therapy and your therapist tells you this didn't actually happen to you, you just want it to happen to you.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And he also says that psychological problems, especially in female hysteria, exist because there is a disconnect between your conscious and unconscious mind. And this is due to your sexual drive because, as we know, your unconscious mind is mostly like controlled and driven by your libido and your sexual energy. So you need to unpack this to become mentally well. So that's why whenever women came to him with mental issues such as crazy ass memories, he would be like, "Oh, that's obviously because of your sexual drives that are not connected to your conscious mind." So that means that your libido is out of control. So you need to fix your libido, or you need to accept your libido, or learn to control
Okay,
it.
so basically all your problems that are caused by someone else are your own fault.
Yes, and every issue you have has to do with sex.
Right.
Right. Just like how
Completely.
your childhood is all libido. Like everything is libido.
Damn.
Disturbing, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't understand. This is like the most not logical thing. Like, I wonder just how does one come up with this?
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
say
say that you did research is crazy, by the
so.
way.
The thing is about him calling the childhood sexual abuse memories fake, he didn't always think that way. He actually thought it wasn't that way for a long time until like something switched, I guess, and he suddenly
Bruh, what?
thought it was fake. But yeah, no, he genuinely thought that things that you fear, or for example, every dream you have, he genuinely thought was just a way to show your secret desires. So if you had a nightmare about being kidnapped, he would say, "You actually desire being kidnapped. That's actually what you want."
Bro, what the fuck? How did he have a wife is my question. Girl, stand
Probably
up.
he had the wife before he started his crazy
Yeah,
switch up.
probably.
Apart from the Oedipus complex, what he is also known for is the Madonna whore complex, which I subtly foreshadowed earlier. But yeah, this is basically something that men have where they either see women as desirable but not respected, or respected but not desirable. And this is a result of the split between love and sexual desires that happens after the Oedipus complex, because boys learn that they cannot be sexually attracted to their mother, and they learn to be socially conditioned to be attracted to women who are not their family. So they obviously respect their mom and they love their mom, but they can't be sexually attracted to her. So they start being sexually attracted to other women who they don't respect and they don't love, because they can't see those things happening at the same time anymore, since they are not allowed to do both with their mom.
Okay, so what about their wives?
Their wives are often Madonnas, so women that they respect but they don't feel sexually attracted to.
Okay, that's fucking
Yeah.
weird, but okay.
It really is. It really is. All of this is.
Also, this is so fucking cap because men are sexually attracted to everything.
Okay, I feel like there's two types of views on this. Like, some men are genuinely sexually attracted to literally everything, dead or alive. And
Literally.
yeah. And other men are like genuinely sexually repulsed if you even have arm hair or something like
No, but they just
crazy.
say that that's so fucking performative because at the end of the day, they're either virgins who would do anything to like just touch a woman, or they are just bitter fucking people. But at the end of the day, if that woman with arm hair who they don't respect would even give them a chance, they would take that
They
with
would
open
jump.
arm. And
Men.
men don't respect any woman. Like men rarely respect women. So like it's bold to say that there's even a selection. Like
No, but for example, a lot of men, like, have you never heard whenever men are like skeptical about about other men doing bad things to women, and then they tell you, and then you tell them stuff like, yeah, but imagine it was your daughter, imagine it was your sister, imagine it was your wife. And then suddenly they understand the gravity of the situation, and they understand that it's bad to rape women,
bro,
because
but
it's people they respect, because they respect their sister, they respect their daughter, they respect their wife, because they see them as actual human beings. But as soon as they start being sexually attracted to you, they don't view you as human anymore.
but you could also argue the other way though, because I feel like men are only nice to you when they find you attractive. So then do they not
I
respect
agree.
you? Does that inherently mean that
Yeah,
they
they
don't?
don't respect you because they are only nice to you because
Yeah,
because you are
okay.
attractive. They
Yeah.
don't respect you because you are a living, breathing human. They just treat you that way because they want to fuck you. And if you make it clear that that is not a possibility, they will switch up quick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I feel like this says a lot about the objectification and dehumanization of women in general, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, if his theories are so wrong, have been proven wrong time and time again. How come he has this chokehold on society? And how come people still basically relate to things that he said? For example, we hear a lot of stories about girls who are in competition with their mom to be liked by their dad or stepdad, even if it's just making fun of your mom for being too protective or for being too strict or for caring too much about stereotypically feminine things, or boys who are in competition with their dad for attention of their mom, or a bunch of other things.
This is the reason I was excited about this episode because I watched a video about boy moms recently. Boy moms are like this, not every mother who has sons is a boy mom in the sense that I'm talking about right now. It's this like stereotype that women who have sons are like strangely um
Attached.
yeah, attached to their son, and like they're in competition with the the woman that he's gonna date. Even
Yeah.
though if he's not dating yet, or if he's a literal child, she'll brag about the fact that the mom, it's like borderline sexual assault sometimes, even like it's
Oh
like
my god.
talking about how like she was his first kiss, or like
Oh hell
yeah, because you know
no.
how some parents kiss their kids on the
Oh,
lips, yeah, or
oh.
like um or like no one's ever gonna treat my boy like I will, or like she can never compare, like just weird
I
shit.
I
Like
also
why
have
shouldn't it be different kinds of love, girl? Like what the hell, bro?
genuinely, first of all, that, and second of all, I've also seen people call this emotional incest.
No,
The fuck?
literally.
Yeah, but it kind of is, and it's very disturbing.
And people just post about this on TikTok, and they'll like it's like okay.
Yeah, and I've
Like
also
there's a whole
seen
community of
I've
it.
also seen, and this is equally as disturbing, like older sisters posting like videos of their brothers and being like, this is my worst heartbreak, him growing up, or like him becoming his own person. Are you hearing yourself? Like, that's so fucking weird. That's actually wild. And how are you comfortable enough to post that on the internet?
Yeah.
Just how about you are normal about your male family members? Like, how about that? You should learn to be ashamed, please. But yeah, something that kind of aligns with this is the sexualization of youth in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because holy shit, especially in the media, youth is so sexualized, and it's so weird to me because why would you sexualize why would you put so much emphasis on the first couple of years that people start to feel any connection to their sexuality? Like, why is there rarely representation of older people in sexual situations, and there's so much emphasis on people who are in puberty or have just finished puberty, if that makes sense? Like, very odd. But yeah, there are many movies that shows that sexualize youth. Some more notable examples being Lolita, or Beautiful Girl starring Natalie Portman, or Mysterious Skin starring the guy who was in 500 Days of Summer,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
him, and also the actress who plays Georgina. I'm so sorry.
Georgina and Gossip Girl.
Yeah, rest in peace.
R.I.P. Queen.
Less obvious examples are The Virgin Suicides, and
Have you
also
read that?
no, but it's also a movie.
Oh,
And people really love to romanticize that movie.
I don't know what
Um,
it's about. I was gonna read the book, but I haven't.
a bunch of, I think it's like a couple of sisters who are really young, and then they commit suicide, and people become obsessed with them. Like, a bunch of boys become obsessed with them because they were young, and
What the fuck?
yeah,
Okay.
scary. But also a lot of series that are made for teenagers that portray drinking, stealing, and having sex as desirable activities to do as a 15-year-old.
It's giving Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars, um,
Even Never Have I Ever.
Skins, Shameless, a bunch of shows. They also often portray girls as promiscuous on purpose, feeding into the idea that the sexual abuse they face is, in fact, a fantasy for them, and it's not actually abuse, it's just something they wanted. Everyone who romanticizes Lolita, I hope you heard that, and I hope you understand what the fuck you're doing. Okay, something that immediately connects to this and also boy moms is the whole concept of daddy issues. Because, first of all, why is it called daddy issues?
Bro,
Why is it not called having a problematic father figure.
Literally, it's like you're blaming the kid again.
That, but also, for some reason, having a problematic relationship with your father is sexualized.
Literally,
And
it's scary.
I'm sorry, this is so freaking Freudian because a girl not having a good relationship with her father means she is extra sexual or is looking for another father figure to project her sexual fantasies onto because like Freud said with the female or the feminine Oedipus complex or whatever, like you notice that you don't have a penis and you look for the approval of someone who does. And then people say that if you don't have a good father figure, you're gonna look for older men who will replace that. And usually in a sexual setting. And that's such a problematic belief to have. And I don't even know where this stems from because it makes no sense to me.
Well, okay. The first part, I kind of understand where he says, because you look for someone to replace a father figure that you never had.
Right, yeah.
The sexual part, I don't think has anything to do with the father figure necessarily. Like it's not about wanting to have sex with your dad, if you
Thank-
will.
Thankfully.
I think it's just that women with daddy issues generally, or mommy issues for that matter, I would say, like they don't think very highly of themselves because it's very hard to do so when someone who is they are literally
Supposed to care for you.
literally those are the two people who are supposed to love you unconditionally. They're programmed to love you and they don't. So then that's kind of brutal, and so then you start looking for love in other places, and then you'll kind of do anything to receive it in a way because your condition, like sex is the closest way you can get to someone, therefore the closest way that you can maybe feel love, or the only way that you might know how to feel love. If you don't have a good father figure, then you might want approval from a
Okay.
man, and maybe if this is how you feel that you can get it.
Okay, but counterpoint. There's also a big amount of porn that is centered around incest
Holy
or
shit.
faux incest.
Yeah, stepmom,
And
stepdad,
yeah,
stepbrother, stepsister,
and
all of it.
and literally kinks where you call your partner a term that is usually used for a parent.
Daddy?
Yeah, or mommy. But I rarely see mommy. But I see people call
I
men
do
daddy all the
on
fucking time.
TikTok.
Okay. I don't usually see the mommy thing. I always see people call random ass old ass men daddy. Okay, think about that in literally any other language than English and it's gonna be weird as fuck.
It's true.
It's weird as fuck.
It's weird as fuck in theory, but if I think about it, it doesn't feel so weird because it's so normalized.
Not shaming you if you do that. I just wonder why the fuck it's so normalized.
I don't know. I think about this a lot because it's so, if you think about it for literally more than 1 second, it's like, what the
It's
fuck?
weird as
But I
hell.
don't bat an eye when I
I
ever
do.
see it. Like, I wouldn't,
I'm still not desensitized to this.
I am, because it's so like fetishized, and it's used in such a context.
Right?
I think people perceive it to add to the moment, if that makes sense. Like they make it almost makes it more sexual, if that makes sense. Because it's so like, but it also,
Well, yes, but wait. Okay, yeah, continue.
but the thing is, I think it only works in English. So I don't think anybody who is not English does that. Because I
Yeah.
cannot imagine someone who's like saying that in their native tongue.
Yeah, or like the only other language I've heard it in is Spanish, but I think
That's different.
there's a difference when like you like okay, so if you are two parents and you call the man dad and the man calls you mom to kind of teach your children what
Yeah.
you should call your other parent or
No, but that's also used sexually. Come on now. The Spanish
yeah,
version.
yeah, it is, but like I think it's weird, it's different if you use the term both ways, if that makes sense, versus if you call the old ass man daddy and he calls you baby. I think that's
Wait, but it's not always an old man though.
yeah, true, but I do see it
But I do
happening.
also want to say that I don't do this. I feel like I should clarify this because I feel like maybe there have been some misconceptions
Okay, okay.
along
Clear
the
your name,
way.
girl. Clear your name. No, but I think there is a lot of content pornographic
Do
content
people do this
out
outside of the
there.
US? I would love to know though.
I would also want to know. And I also want to know, if you do this inside the US, have you ever fucking drawn the connection between that being a
But
term used for a
no, but
parent?
listen, don't you think people do this who like don't call their dad that?
Yeah, because that's another thing. Like, people now think it's weird when you call your dad daddy. But guys, let's remember what that term was made for. Like, let's remember the original meaning of the word, please. But I understand that once you start seeing it in the weird context, you don't want to use that for your actual dad anymore, obviously.
Because I feel like by the age that you can use it in the bedroom, you don't call your dad that anymore.
No, but I think that one of the reasons why people don't call their dad that anymore is because of how the fuck
No,
it's been
because
corrupted.
kids still call their dad that.
Yeah, but once they find out,
Yeah,
they
but then
would
they're
never
already
fucking use that
old.
again.
Then they don't use that anymore.
What do you mean you call your boyfriend the term you used for your dad as a fucking 3-year-old?
Yeah.
You can do what you want. You can,
Thank you for clarifying this.
yeah, you can do what you want, and I don't give a shit.
You can think what
Trust.
you want.
I just don't think this should be normalized, and I also think it's really interesting because, again, Freud's theories have been proven wrong and wrong time and time again. But why the fuck is there so much incest and fake incest in porn?
I think it's more also an authoritarian thing. You know, it's not actually about wanting to have sex with your dad. Like I just said, it's about like
One
is it
person being in charge or
yeah.
whatever the fuck. Yeah, but why?
What else would you say then if you're trying to like, sir?
Literally anything. Like, yeah, that, or freaking whatever the fuck you usually call your boss, or
Boss? I would
yeah,
fucking that's worse to me.
you, boss is worse than a father. Think about that for a little bit longer, please. Think about that for a little bit longer.
Wait, isn't that the whole mommy sorry thing?
Yeah, I also think that's the
Oh
same.
my, you should just be aware of these things because I feel
Yeah,
like this just we're
we're just trying to expand your thinking.
yeah,
cap.
because with this we know this exists, but have you ever thought about it being a little strange?
Exactly.
That's what we're here for.
Okay.
Continue.
We also frequently see men struggling to respect women they are attracted to or have sex with. For example, the whole
You could have just ended that sentence at we also we also see that the issue of men struggling to respect women.
yeah, but especially the women that they have sex with or are attracted to. And I've seen TikToks of men being like,
Or the ones that they don't think are pretty.
true,
Like that they like are not attracted to point blank.
point blank period, and they literally will not talk to you. You will be grouped with them for a group project, and they will literally act as if someone locked them up in a room full of rabid dogs. Like, they will literally act as if you are about to murder them right there, right then.
Literally, like you're a nuclear weapon.
And it yeah, and it will make you feel like a nuclear weapon, and it will make you feel subhuman. Like, it's literally gonna make you feel as if you've done something wrong.
They're just not
Like,
attracted to you.
yeah, like, that's all you've done. Like, that's your biggest crime. But anyways, I've seen TikToks of men, and it's like, POV, you just had sex with your girlfriend, and then it's him just being very sad and very angry with himself and very frustrated
What the fuck?
and feeling,
TikTok's doing?
and feeling super bad for the girl. And that is like supposed to be post nut clarity, and it's just them feeling super bad for the girl.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and this is because
Why do we feel?
this is because they see sex not as like a pleasurable act for a couple, but as a violent act that you do to a woman instead of with a woman.
I thought post nut clarity was that you realize that she's chopped or something.
Oh my god,
Like
imagine!
you just
Post nut clarity can be a lot of things.
that you realize that you were just so
Being
blinded by
cringed or-
lust that you did something with someone who like you didn't want that, you know, or
but
you
in this
weren't supposed to.
but in this case, it's you did something to someone that you regret because
Right.
you hurt her, because obviously sex is equal to degradation, apparently. According to men. Some men. According to Freud. They also have this thing, men with the Madonna horror complex, where they don't really respect women who they know have had sex or have had a lot of sex, because they literally see it as someone who doesn't respect herself, because again, they don't see sex as something that she just wants to do. They see it as something that she complies with to like gain attention from men. and it's something that hurts her, but it's something that she still does because she just wants the male attention instead of just something that she does because it's pleasurable.
Ew. And I feel like this is very relevant because I feel like a lot of guys think like that.
I also think so, unfortunately.
And it sucks that it's still so relevant. Like this
It really
bitch ass
is.
is doing saltos, somersaults in his fucking grave.
Grave.
Like he is doing fucking the Olympics gymnastics
He
6 feet under.
he
Like
is
let me tell you
literally
something.
dancing in his grave. Like, okay, well, okay, so we've already talked about boy moms and them low-key being weird to their sons, but since we are on the topic of men not really respecting women and not really seeing them as human beings, I also have to talk about girl dads, especially the I don't want to have a daughter type of dads. So you have men out there who say that they don't want to have a daughter because they just don't want someone who is gonna shake ass in a club after 21 years. Which, first of all, why is that the first thought you have when you think about having a daughter? What the fuck? Um, then there's also dads who I've seen on TikTok again who are jealous of people being able to buy cool toys for their male children because they have to buy dresses and dolls for their girls. No one is forcing them to buy these dresses and dolls. No one. He could be buying a PlayStation 5 for his little daughter, but he's just not doing that because she's a girl.
Oh my
Why the
god.
fuck would you want to play video games? And then there's also dads who are just super excited to play with their sons and who say like, "Oh, I'm just so excited to play with my son and spoil my daughter." What do you mean spoil your daughter? What do you mean buy things for your daughter? Cuz guess what? Your daughter also wants to play with toys. Kids are kids. And if you buy your daughter a football, she's gonna enjoy playing football with you. It's a child. If you buy her cars, she's gonna like cars. Like you are
Literally.
it's literally that
Preach.
bird that's like stuck in that cage that is literally open. Like what the fuck are you doing complaining about nothing?
Literally. Like
Just
you're making the problem right now.
you're
There is
making the
no
problem by
problem.
treating girls as if they are not human beings. Okay, you can encourage
Like
her
the
to
thing
have your
is,
hobbies.
your child is gonna want, like, above all, they're gonna want to spend time with you.
Exactly.
You're like, if you make playing soccer with them really fun, then that's what they're gonna want to do.
Yeah.
So
Do
that's
you know
why.
how easy it is to entertain kids? Like you can literally play hide and seek with them and they will have the time of their lives.
Literally.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the fetishization of women because Freud actually had a theory about fetishization. And I wrote about this in a paper actually. So,
Actually,
actually I am academically familiar with this concept. So, to Freud, basically it all started with men not understanding women because women don't have penises. And
what the hell? Wasn't this? Maybe this man's a
girl,
homosexual with how much he fucking talked about penises.
no, like he loved penises apparently. Like he genuinely thought everyone wanted to have a fucking penis. But okay, whatever the fuck. Anyway, so they don't understand the fact that a woman has no penis. They literally don't get it, and their brain cannot conceptualize the lack of a penis. So yeah, so to fill in that fear of that lack of a penis, they make something up for in that to replace it. And that something is the fetish.
Bro, please take a shot every time we say penis in this video.
Please take a sip of water because you'll be so hydrated.
Literally.
Um,
If you take a sip of something else, you'd be blackout.
you would be going to the hospital. You would be dancing in your grave alongside Freud. Okay, anyways, so the fetish is imagined to lessen the impact of the lack of the penis.
Ugh, I don't want to do this anymore.
So, for example, one of the things they can fill up this lack with is women's flamboyant personalities or movements or behaviors that men do not have. Because this is something that women have that men don't, according to some men. This is especially a big thing in media because that's what I study and that's what my paper was about. But yeah, they kind of made up the fact that women have more dramatic movements or more dramatic ways of talking. And this was not the case. This is just how they portrayed it in media to make the difference between men and women bigger. And media influences real life, so this
That's
influenced how women
true.
acted in real life. But yeah, this fetish of women is often seen in horror or thriller movies where things are shaped like vaginas, wombs, or in other ways directly having to do with women's bodies. And
Would you say even Stranger Things?
yes, I was about to name that as an example, but other more obvious examples is when a woman in a horror movie has an alien pregnancy. For example, in Rosemary's Baby, or when she has a womb outside of her body, or for example, when she is a vampire and she's thirsty for blood, or perhaps the most obvious form of the fear of castration and the fear of a woman not having a penis is the vagina dentata, aka a vagina with teeth in it.
Oh my god, I think you told me about this.
Yeah, and this portrays their fear of being castrated because obviously, when you penetrate a vagina with teeth and it fucking bites your penis off, you are literally castrated. So that's what they were scared of. They were scared of women because they didn't have penises. So they were like, okay, so where is their power? What do they have?
When your penis holds your power.
But even in modern horror movies or even thriller movies, such as American Horror Story or, like you said, Stranger Things, you can see things that vaguely or not so vaguely resemble women's body parts, such as demogorgons in Stranger Things. They kind of resemble vaginas vaguely, or the gate to the upside down.
Yes.
It's one big vagina, and when you go to the upside down, you are being birthed from the vagina, and there's literally a whole slime thing on top of you, and you break through the hymen to the other world, just like when you're born into the world. And even the oxygen you breathe, it's different because you're in the womb. Okay, this is getting very crazy. I'm sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but there's a lot of theory about this, and I once took a class about gender, sexuality, and horror. So that this is what that class has left me with.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so Stranger Things is one of those examples. Even Stranger Things is not safe from Freud.
Nobody is safe from Freud.
No one.
And I think that's a perfect segue
to our example or case study of the week.
Right. There's not one.
There's a million.
There's a couple because so there's Freud presents himself in many songs. Many songs. Many like
every time you play this song, Freud gets morphed with the earth around his grave a little more.
Literally. And it's like some songs you expect, like for example Daddy Issues. I feel like everybody kind of knows about that.
I hate that song, by the way.
I really like it, but it's a little problematic.
It is.
Then there's this other song by The Neighborhood, Single.
I love this song,
which is also a little bit problematic because
it is. I just love how it sounds though, the lyrics.
It's like talking about a baby girl, even though I shouldn't.
Wait, is it actually about a baby?
No, but
okay.
He says, baby, I can't help but call her that, even though I shouldn't say it. She was my baby girl. I might never get her back. I don't mind being patient. Yeah. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm never meant to hurt your baby girl. Like, whatever. She could be, like, of age, but it's, like, a little bit weird. He keeps referring to, like, a baby girl. And I know that's what they call women sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's also talking about, like, for example, he says, Dave, can you let your baby be my girl or something? Or, I'm sorry, Dave, I never meant to hurt your baby girl. And it's like, that's fucking weird.
I hate it whenever men refer to, like, sort of taking over a girl from her dad as if she was his property first and now it's his property. Like,
yeah, that's what it's.
You're fucking weird for that. Oh my god, Lana
Del Rey, I feel like, is also a pretty, like, I feel like everybody knows about that too. Well, there's this song, Off to the Races, which I thought was all of her songs are like Freudian coded, I fear, but it's basically just talking about how she is like super devoted to him. Sipping on your black crystal, oh yeah, light of my life, fire my loins, be a good baby, do what I want, light of my life, fire of my loins. I don't know what that means.
Girl, that's the first sentence from Lolita, the book.
Really? I read it.
Lolita, light of my life, fire of my loins. I'm pretty sure that's the first sentence. She has a song named
Lolita.
I know.
Yes.
Lolita, light of my life, fire of my loins, my sin, my soul.
So, love that.
That just gave me goosebumps, and like the disgusting type of goosebumps. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The ones that you get when you are disgusted.
So I do, unfortunately, kind of like some songs by Lana Del Rey. She's like low-key revolutionary in the music industry. So like,
I also agree that her sound is very,
I think,
one of a kind, and
but
a lot of people try to imitate it. But I just think sometimes I just can't look past the lyrics, and this is just one of those cases.
Okay, so a couple of things that she says, it's like, kiss me in the dark, do it my way, kiss me in the park, hey Lolita, hey Lolita, hey, I know what the boys want, I'm not gonna play, whatever. Like, you know what this is about. Like, come on now. But I wanted to talk about another artist because I didn't want to only talk about these stereotypical ones that I know that you know about. Oh wait, let's do Alejandro first.
Yeah, by Lady Gaga, because this song, it slaps.
I love this song.
There's one line that is so diabolical.
Which one do you want? I never clocked that one, I fear.
I Girl, how do you not clock
I don't know. I
this?
don't know. I just
Wait, in case we get copyrighted, the line in question is she's not broken, she's just a baby, but her boyfriend's like a dad, like her dad, just like a dad.
right. There was one artist that I found that I should show you. And they're called Of Montreal. They're not of Montreal at all.
Oh, are they Canadian?
No, they're American.
The
But
fuck?
it was okay. So they're an American indie pop band from Athens, Georgia. It was founded by the front person Kevin Barnes in 1996, named allegedly after a failed romance between Barnes and a woman of Montreal.
Okay, damn.
So I feel like this should already give you a little bit of an introduction. Now I'm gonna show you the lyrics of the first, like their number one song, right?
Gallery piece.
Gallery piece of Skeletal Lamping, a 2008 album. I
Wanna
want to
crash your
make you
car?
sick. I want to sell you out. I want to expose your flaws. I want to steal your things. I want to show you off. I want to tell you lies. I want to write you books. I want to turn you on. I want to make you come. All the things about her are sexual.
Yeah, yeah.
And all the good things are
or
painting your
painful.
nails and shit. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
that's not. It's fucking weird. It's basically, you should look up the lyrics. It's Gallery Piece of Montreal, and it's just
The title gallery piece.
yeah. I know, but there's one other song of
His band.
Skeletal Lamp. Well, there's a lot of songs that are very Freudian, but I will spare you. There's one lyric in Plastis Wafer. Oh yes, this is what I meant. He
Oh.
said, okay, so he says, okay, the first the first lines, one of the first lines is lover phase, I view you as the revolver introduced in my play, act 1. Lover phase, I want to make you ejaculate till it's no longer fun. I confess to really being quite charmed by your feminine effect. You're the only one with whom I would roleplay Oedipus Rex.
Oedipus is the guy. Okay, so wait, I didn't even say about the myth, but the whole thing is that Oedipus basically he was born oh my god, he was kind of an orphan, I guess. He was born in a different city from his parents, and then his fate was to, I think, kill his dad. And then he was like, oh, I would never kill my dad. In fact, I want to meet my dad and make up with him. And then he went on his way, and then he killed his dad on his way there without knowing it was his dad. So his dad was actually killed. And then he went to this city and he conquered it, and he married the queen of the city and made love to her, and that was his mom. And then when he found out about that, I think he scratched his eyes out or he committed suicide or something. So that was Oedipus, and that's what this guy wants to role play.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the ego line is, I know you want my kisses in your narcissistic collapse because it's so painful when they amputate the ego. See all the pretty corpses lined up along the beach. Whatever.
Okay, maybe it's not the Freud ego.
I don't really know what that means, but there's a lot of songs by them that are very Freudian, Freud coded, but I feel like the songs off of Skeletal Lamping, the album, really take the cake. There's a lot of them. Then there's this one album by Daniel Caesar, which you might know, which was the first thing I thought of when
Wait, I
we
don't
were
know
talking
this
about
album.
Freud, is his album that's called Freudian.
Freudian.
But I re-listened to it, like really paying attention to the lyrics, and it was not, I don't think it was weird at all. It was just
Bruh.
like about wanting a girl or like loving a girl or like
God forbid you love a girl.
it was just normal.
So he says that he did take inspiration from it, according to cherwell.org. But I'm not. I mean, if Priya didn't find it,
Well, I don't think
then
Priya is
think-
like the world's most reliable source, but I have listened to this and I know this album and I never, but then again I also didn't clock it in Alejandro, so maybe I'm the villain. But
That's crazy though.
but the thing is,
But
I
you weren't
re-listened.
listening.
I
Yeah,
re-listened
yeah,
to this,
exactly.
looked at the lyrics, and I thought it was really normal. But maybe he called it that because he like verbally said that that was his inspiration. Maybe it's just not in the songs. But if you find any Freudian themes or Oedipus themes in the album,
Please
Freudian,
comment it. Please let us
yeah,
know.
I would love to know.
I'm also gonna re-listen to this tomorrow, and
You should. Okay, can I continue?
yeah, please do.
Okay, so I wrote down, I looked it up, and people said Marina and Melanie Martinez. Now, Melanie Martinez, I understand.
Me too.
Because she has this whole album called Crybaby, I think. Because she's talking about a man, and everything is kind of, she wraps everything in this metaphor of a child, like
yeah,
a dollhouse, the Mad Hatter, what
Mm.
else? Pacify Her,
yeah, and also
Sippy Cup.
Sippy cup. What the fuck? Training wheels, Tag, you're it.
Yeah.
Yeah, milk and cookies.
So
Kitty
that's
party.
that I understand. Like that is very Freudian. Marina
Yeah.
was more with hysteria.
And also stuff like being the lesser inferior gender, as he refers to it, when you're a woman and doing anything to just get attention from the superior gender, aka the male gender. For example, she has this one song called Girls. Look like a girl, but I think like a guy, not ladylike to behave like a slime. Easy to be sleazy when you've got a filthy mind. You stick to your yogurts, I'll stick to my apple pie. And then she's basically talking about all of the standards and all of the stereotypical behaviors that girls have and how she doesn't relate to any of it because she thinks it's shallow and blah blah blah, and how their mothers must be proud because obviously their mothers are also women, so they must also be
Mhm.
shallow.
There was one more though that I wanted to talk about, which is Usher, because I never.
Daddy's home.
Yes, that's what I thought of, and I feel like we should mention it because, guys, please. And then there was I listened to the
I'm cracking
album
up.
Raymond Few Raymond again because I feel like this is with a lot of songs from that period of time.
The way she looked up Ush and the first thing that came up was Lush
Lush
Life.
Life. Where is it? You don't know.
Oh my god, featuring Ludacris.
Yeah.
When I was 13,
I had my first love. Yeah, she's so sexual and she knows. Oh wait, she keep her mouth closed. Yeah, she's so sexual and she knows. She don't know it's killing me inside because I want her body. The more she try to keep me from her, she don't know that she making me love her. Blah blah blah. Like just
Oh
look.
my
It's
god.
like it's just, and this is not crazy for a song from that period of time. I feel like a lot of them are like
Mhm.
this. But I feel like a lot of people know this song.
I picked you, and that's what's getting on these whores' nerves.
Yeah, literally. I just think this is a very famous album and very famous songs. So I just wanted to highlight it because
Yeah, I don't know if I also think this is Freudian in the sense that it's again a woman being the inferior sex and just wanting male approval, and whatever is done to her is secretly her fantasy because that's just what women should want. They should just want to serve men because they have penises and girls don't have that. That's what this is
it's,
giving
and
me.
it's also like they inherently want him, even though like,
Yeah.
because also like the more she acts like she doesn't want me or some shit like that, that makes him more attracted to her. Like
What we are trying to say is that there are so many movies, so many songs,
it's
so many
everywhere.
shows,
Freud is everywhere in your
literally
favorite
everywhere.
songs, in your favorite movies. He's
In your
literally
favorite TikTokers comment. Oh my god. Okay, this is terrifying.
just know Freud is everywhere. We can never escape him.
We apologize for this episode.
Yeah, we're sorry because you're never gonna like
You're
this thing.
never gonna, yeah. But it had to be said.
You should
So,
know. And the more you know.
the more you know.
Thank you for listening.
This was After Hours FM. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Also, After Hours FM with a 0 and 7-0. We also have a YouTube channel, After Hours TV. Also a radio show, Sim Radio. You can find all of that information in the description, and you will find us here on After Hours FM bi-weekly on Fridays at 5 p.m. CET. Okay, guys, that was it. Bye.
Bye.